how much does recent results, specifically the last 2 weeks, shape one's overall attitude towards the Campbell Holmes era? And I got to be honest, for me, it's a little, but not a lot. Of course, it all goes on their permanent record, but I'm not giving up hope on Holmes and Campbell and this staff. Are you?
No, not at all. Not at all. I pointed out earlier, I think the dramatic changes they've made to the offense from 2020 to where they are now, being 20th rated offense in the league 2 seasons ago at season's end, to top offense in the league through 4 games this year, that's pretty great. The defensive side has to step up, and there's a lot that needs to be improved there. I mean, you could look at all levels on the defense and say, yep, need better from the pass rush, need better from the run stop, need better from the linebackers, need better from the corners, need better from the safety position. I mean, take your pick and use your first 3 or 4 picks on defense and maybe all of your picks on defense, because offensively they seem to do fine. If I was looking to improve the offense at all, I might go out and get an offensive lineman just for depth in the draft, but I'm not using it terribly early. And I'm not sold that Swift is ever going to stay healthy, so I might need to grab a running back at some point, but I don't have to. I do not rush to. But the defensive side is such a horror show. I don't know how it's nothing that you can just snap your fingers and fix, and yet that's exactly what they did with the offense. So what's the difference? I guess the offense, you built it with a foundation. The foundation was the offensive line. If the offensive line is good enough, you give a quarterback time to throw, they'll carve anybody up. If your offensive line is good enough, they'll open holes in the defense, and you can run the football effectively, which is what they've done. So what's the equivalent on defense? Is it the defensive line?
Yes, and I think probably if I were a pessimist and convinced that it was going to fail, like many people are, I'd be really worried about Aiden Hutchinson. But I'm not. It's way too early in a lot of ways to declare anything. But I think you're going to see a guy that gets better as this season goes on.
Well, in defense, in baseball, they say be good up the middle, right? Catcher, shortstop, center fielder.
Yeah.
And then your defense should probably fall into place, should be pretty good. In football, I'm not sure if it's the same thing, but you need to have playmakers at all 3 levels. I need to have a playmaking safety. I need to have a playmaking linebacker and a playmaking defensive line somewhere, whether it's the end or the tackles. And unless you've got Aaron Donald, you're probably only going to have a defensive end being your game wrecker there. They've got so many holes to fill there, and it's an upgrade at almost every position that you're looking at defensively.
I will say, in the case of Hutchinson, one of the reasons is A, because it's early in his career, but B, him and the entire defensive line would look a little bit better if the quarterbacks didn't hit their back step in the drop and just deliver on time, because receivers are running open. It's really very difficult to get home when the team can deliver on time.
Well, and in yesterday's game, it took a while before they decided to throw the ball downfield. It started off just being, okay, tight end across, we got him. Running back out of the backfield, we got it. When they did get when they were covered, and there were several times that they were obvious that the defense, the secondary had guys covered. Well, Geno Smith just took off and ran because that's what you can do. He had not run all season long until the game yesterday. And he's like, oh, now I can run. I see what happened. This is what Jalen Hurts was looking at.